I wish I could do that myself, but I love salted caramel. Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarice. I'm a registered dietitian and I'm passionate about nutrition education. I hope that each bite-sized chunk will give you a better understanding of nutrition, health, and everything in between. My last bite-sized chunk was all about preservatives and other additives, so if you missed it, I'll link it down below in the description box. And I promised I'd get more into sweeteners in a separate bite-size. Well, here it is. Today's bite-sized chunk is all about sugar and sugarless sweeteners. Can you pass me the sugar? And be sure to stay around until the end because I'll be sharing my favorite sugar alternatives. Sugars belong to the carbohydrates family, which unfortunately is my favorite macronutrient family member. Like, I've never met a carb that I didn't like. Except for bananas. I don't like bananas. I've already made a bite-sized chunk about carbohydrates, so I'll link it down below in the description box in case you missed it. But in a nutshell, carbohydrates consist of fibers, starches, and sugars. Sugars and starches consist of simple, fast-absorbing carbs that will eventually break down into glucose in the body. And the overconsumption of sugars and starches over time is linked to everything from obesity and type 2 diabetes to cavities and saggy skin.
And that's not cute.
So fiber-rich, complex carbohydrates like non-starchy vegetables, seeds, and legumes are a much better choice compared to simple carbs like potato chips, pastries, and sodas. A solid way to reduce simple processed carbs in your diet is to avoid added sugars. But because food labels don't always list sugar as simply sugar, you have to kind of keep an eye out for its 674 synonyms, like glucose, dextrose, sucrose, etc. Notice that the suffix "ose" is indicative of sugar, and all of these as well. In fact, I challenge you, the next time you're at the supermarket, check a few ingredient lists and you'll notice that some items have 3 and even 5 different forms of sugar in one serving, and some of them are even marketed as healthy. When it comes to sugars and other sweeteners, there are a lot of misconceptions. For example, that brown sugar, evaporated cane juice, or honey are much healthier options than, say, white table sugar. The way all of these sweeteners are worded, they seem pretty innocent and healthy, but in reality, the differences in their nutritional value aren't significant enough to make one superior over the other. Once you consume them, they'll all eventually break down into glucose or to fructose, and believe me, your pancreas doesn't care if it was organic agave imported straight from Mexico. Also, if you remember from my video about understanding food labels, labels that state no added sugars should not be confused with sugarless. Think about it, there are plenty of foods that are naturally sugar-rich.
I'm rich, bitch.
All natural sweeteners, 100% fruit juice, 100% fruit sugars are just all gimmicky slogans trying to get you to buy these products thinking that they're more nutritious. But in reality, drinking this is equivalent to eating this. But don't worry, you don't have to relinquish the use of your taste buds for sweet. When you do have the sweet tooth, choose simple carbs in their natural form, like whole fruits for example. They tend to be high in fiber, they're nutrient dense, and they won't spike your blood sugar like some gummy bears would. And for cooking and baking or sweetening your iced tea in the summer, there are quite a few low-calorie, sugar-free alternatives that could do the trick. Sugarless sweeteners can be divided into 2 categories. So the first is intense sweeteners like saccharin, aspartame, and ACE-K for example. And because they're several hundred times sweeter than sugar, they're only needed in tiny amounts, so they provide a negligible amount of calories, which makes them suitable for diet products like diet soda. And then we have bulk sweeteners like sorbitol and sucralose, which have a similar sweetness to that of sugar, so they're used in similar amounts. And you often see these in confectionery products and chewing gums. And the main class of compounds in this category are sugar alcohols. First off, don't let the name mislead you. Sugar alcohols don't actually contain ethanol, so they're completely safe even if you avoid alcohol. So sugar alcohols have a slightly different structure than sugar, and they provide less calories, about 2 calories per gram compared to 4 calories per gram. So they don't have a significant effect on blood sugar, making them a suitable alternative to people with type 2 diabetes and just anyone wanting to monitor their sugar and caloric intake. These sweeteners are also safe for your teeth. The bacteria that we naturally have in our mouths ferments the sugars left from the carbohydrates that we ate during the day, which produces acids that can damage our tooth enamel. But because these bacteria can't ferment sugar alcohols, they don't compromise our oral hygiene. In fact, xylitol and erythritol may even help prevent tooth decay. And that's why I often see these sugar alcohols in toothpaste and chewing gums. And although these benefits sound enticing, don't go gobbling down sugar alcohols. They can potentially cause bloating, flatulence, and even diarrhea, especially in people with gastrointestinal sensitivities like IBS and IBD. There are also low-calorie, sugarless sweeteners that are extracted from plants, like stevia and monk fruit. Honestly, none of these sugarless sweeteners taste exactly like the sugar we've grown to love. But from my experience, there are a few products that combine different sweeteners, and they come pretty close. In fact, my favorite sweeteners to date combine plant sweeteners with sugar alcohols, and I'll link them down below. I use them for tea, coffee, cooking, and baking. Just keep in mind that I haven't tried all of these brands' products, so I can't vouch for everything. Finally, I'm not trying to fearmonger you into complete sugar abstinence. I wish I could do that myself, but I love salted caramel. Just know that less is more. And also, you don't want your taste buds conditioned to only favor intensely sweetened foods. I once went a month without any sweeteners, like no fruit, sugarless sweeteners, nada. And once it was over, it was amazing. Like berries were super sweet, and I could detect the subtle sweetness in certain vegetables and even pasta. I recommend you try it at least once. Like always, you're welcome to leave me questions and comments down below and let me know what your favorite sugarless sweetener is. I'd like to try it. Like and share this video if you learned something new, and subscribe to my channel, and you can hit that notification bell to get notified whenever I upload new videos. That was your bite-sized chunk for today. Thank you for watching. Bloating, flatulence.